Hi everyone. Very good morning to all of you, and welcome back to the channel. And we will be having the continuous session on the today's scenario. Okay, and we left on that last day related to the DevOps prerequisite. So we will see how the further things is now going to see it, and further think how what will all the implementation we are going to see. Okay, so let's start the next part. And before moving to the next part, I just want to re-talk about one example which I talked about on that day because I found that it required a clear understanding. So, as part of DevOps, actually, I really want to talk about. So, for an example, we talked about one scenario where we will be having one application, say Arogya Setu app. This app we actually talked about. This details actually required to discuss one more time so you will be having a better understanding on that area. Okay, so for example, this is Mr. Indian government. Okay, and this is Mr. IT manager. Okay, so we talked about some point where actually government and Indian government have a deal that okay, we want some app which is actually within very short time we require it, and we don't want much more time on these area. Pretty much fine, they have suggested it. Okay, finally, Mr. IT manager was ready that okay, we are fine to do the development sooner. Okay, but to do that, we definitely need few members to hire. Few members to hire. So, whatever the amount you have finalized for the project, please release some amount. Please release some amount. So he's telling that okay, we have finalized this at 5 crore. We will be releasing 1 crore for you as of now. Actually, this is the way only the hirings come into the market. Okay, this is the way only hirings come into the market, and in this way only, what happened? The hiring come, he will be hired maybe some experienced developer, maybe some lower developer, junior level developer, then some QA, then some SRE. So on that basis, they are going to do it, and on that basis, they are going to develop a new project itself for them into the market. Okay, and then they will relate the application and do it. So this is just a high level. Okay, this is just a high level means like okay, you got to know that okay, maybe some discussion is happening, a kind of a management discussion, a kind of a generic discussions happening. Okay, we want this kind of requirement, we need this kind of application. On that basis they are doing it, but on real basis, on technical front, how these things is actually happening, that is quite important to know, because that is the only way you will understand, right, how DevOps is actually become DevOps, right? Then without that knowing it, without knowing that facts, you won't be able to understand also that where exactly this DevOps is actually coming into the picture, right? So that part is important you to understand it. So let me show you something. Let me make one more heading, like say process to start the project. Okay, process to start the project. I'm talking about the so now you need to be very cautious, like you need to understand how this process actually build up for the product deployment, how this project is actually looking into the market, which you need to weigh and follow it the understanding. So for an example, I will be first create a ladder. Okay, and then the ladder you will be understanding it how it will go. So first ladder I'm adding it developer ladder. Developer ladder, this is the first ladder I am adding it. Okay, then another ladder I will be adding it, build a ladder. The build a ladder, I will talk about each of the point one by one, but just follow on the screen as of now what exactly in there. Then you have another ladder is test ladder. Test ladder, and then further we will be have the quality assurance. Quality assurance. Okay, and then you can say maintenance also, we can keep it for our time being, that you can having an understanding. Okay, so if you see, I have designed a complete ladder on my screen, that how these things is actually going to be work into the IT level or IT level industry. Now for example, now say I want to design an e-commerce site for me. e-commerce site for me. Okay, so what exactly means it means, like for example, I want to design an application, say application name I want to keep it ranjit.com. This kind of application I want to develop it. Okay, this is the done part I want to do it. Now for example, this application, this is my business requirement where I need in the application, I need something related to, first page will be the home, that will be my UI page. Okay, then I will be needing something for clothing section, I want to add it. Okay, that is my feature. Then I want something like wood related stuff should be there, then something related to automobile, then something related to food. So I will be telling that okay, I need these kind of stuffs into my e-commerce site, into my UI. I need these all things, right? So this is the first part I want to do it. Okay, so this is the UI part. So definitely this part can be done by definitely the engineer, that is called as front end developer. As of now, I'm not mentioning any technology which he is going to use it or what he is doing it. I just want to do it. A front end developer can do these all part. This is his research which he will be doing into his in development. Now how the cosmetic things or how the UI part will look into the area. Now, now what happened? Now definitely what happened? I know that okay, at my site there will be some traffic is about to come. Definitely if I'm launching a site, definitely there will be some traffic is launching. I definitely need a storage, and definitely I need some servers over there. So in that case, in that particular case, what exactly I needed the backend developer who is actually doing the research, how the things will behave in a backend. So you don't need to confuse as of now in front and backend. You just need to understand, for example, the developer role over here is like who actually want to look and design the UI part, whether the data is coming in a correct format or not. That part is how it is actually, how the APIs are running in between, and how the data is getting transferred from one source to another source. So that part of role is doing by the developer. So they are actually doing the complete research. Okay, complete research of your UI part on the site, how it is looking it. If you are clicking on home, what it need to open it. If you are clicking on wood, what all these things it need to showcase. If you're clicking on food, how these things are doing it. So these designing part, all those things, and writing the part which is done by the developer, and this is actually done on which part? This is actually the main part of your coding part. Coding part, it means developer will be using any language available into the market, which is it is using it for the development of the product. So maybe he may be using Java. Okay, he may be using Python, he may be using Ruby, he may be using any other like React Native or JavaScript. So any kind of a programming language which is available into the market, that kind of thing it is actually getting used by the developer. And again, in this process also, developer will be having the some application ID based third base application. Maybe it is an IntelliJ. Okay, maybe it is an Eclipse, maybe it is an Visual Studio, VS Studio, anything, any kind of a third platform party platform they are going to use it. So on that basis, developer will start the task. So that is the first part when the project is going to be starting. Okay, now definitely when the project will be starting it, then definitely the second part you might be having the portion that what exactly you need to build. So definitely we need to build our code. Okay, we need to build our code, and to build our code there are multiple build tool is available. Say Maven is available, Maven build tool. Okay, and there is one more famous tool is that Gradle build tool. Any of the build tool which is actually help you to building the project, that is actually the build tool. As part of this curriculum, we will be seeing both Maven also, we will see Gradle also. Gradle we will see as a project basis, Maven we will see as a learning wise. Now into the market, Gradle is becoming more popular, and on that basis it is doing it and running it on this one. For example, now think of one more example. You think of a scenario. For example, you build the project. Okay, you have built it the project, and you want this project to be run successfully. Okay, so to run this project, definitely you need some mechanism. Maven have its own dependencies which you need to circulate and add it into the project. You need to add it into the project. Always remember. Okay, similarly way, Gradle also have some dependencies. Okay, Gradle also have some dependencies which you need to add it. Okay, this Maven will be having the dependencies which we are going to add it into the XML files of the Maven, whatever it will be there. And similarly, for the Gradle also, we will be adding into the Gradle.wrapper file. There we will be adding the dependencies. Okay, once these dependencies will be added, on that basis only it will understand and build your project. Okay, so that kind of flow it is going to do it. Now, definitely once building a part is done, then definitely your mind will be having a question, right? Okay, now code is there, build is there, what exactly the next part? Definitely if I am having a code, I am having a build tool, definitely I want to push this code at some place, right? I want to place this code at some common repository, right? At common repositories, so that common repository part, as of now it is just an high level, I'm not going into the details, so you need to stay tuned for the high detail part. We will be going it when we are going to talk about. So to push that code, we will be needing the one more application is available into the market or tool like Git and GitHub. Okay, Git and GitHub. Before Git and GitHub, there was a tool called Bitkeeper was there. Okay, but I don't want to talk about as of now Bitkeeper. So Git and GitHub will be helping you to maintain the code at the code repository. Okay, maintain the code at the code repository. On that basis only you are going to execute the code. Okay, on that basis you are going to push the code, pull the code. How these all things are going to be happen, that I'm going to showcase you on the screen. That is completely a different scenario, and we are will be learning each of them, but just to understand that part you need to see it on the flow. Okay, so once you have pushed the code, then definitely again you need something, like again you need some cycle in between. So in that place, your Jenkins also come into the picture. I'm just somehow touching about some of the services in between, so you will be having some idea in your mindset that okay, how these things will be going to be implemented thing. Okay, now Jenkins is available into the market, and then you have configure your Git with the Jenkins. Configure your Git with the Jenkins. So what exactly I have did till now? I have a developer. Okay, just say he did some code. Okay, he did some code using the build tool, say Maven build tool. He did it. Okay, and then what he did it, he pushed the code using Git and push to GitHub repository. Now my code is available where? For my application, my code is available at the GitHub. Now code is available at the GitHub. Once code is available, now to execute this code, I need another thing, that is my Jenkins. I can run it with the local also, but Jenkins is a common place for each of the component. Okay, so I will be using Jenkins now to configure my project. It will give me a UI, completely UI, and then I will be telling as that build the project or build the application. Okay, something like that I'm doing it. Once I will do the build it, what it will do, it will execute the job. It will execute the job. If everything will be fine, it will give me a result, the pass and fail job. Jenkins job is pass and fail. It means, for an example, I have an application, and in that application if I have done some part correctly, so it will give me the result as pass. On that basis I am going to say it is done. Now find that okay, I have created a code, I have done this part also, I have used this part also. Now this is actually fine for the people who are like completely okay, who is knowing the technical things, who has like a very good understanding with the code, he is fine. Now the person like who is completely from non-technical background, he don't know and he want to use your application, so how he is going to do it? So in that particular scenario, you need to build your project or you need to build your application in multiple kind of operating system. That is the reason you need to know operating system before starting the DevOps. We will be see how these things is also going to be happen, but before that you need to understand how this operating system is happening, and we will be launching some exe file. Okay, exe file is getting used for which particular application? That is for the window based application where he need to develop it or use or install it. Similarly way he need to know the Linux files, that is the .sh files or tar files or something like zip file. So it can completely depend how many type of ways your product is actually supporting it. So always remember one more point, just now I recall it, that multiple organizations having the support for different operating systems into the organization. That way also you need to organize understand it. Maybe they can support on window, they can support on red hat, they can support on ubuntu, they can support on centos, they can support on solaris, they can support on Fedora, they can support on Debian, and they can support on Ubuntu. So there are multiple operating system on which the organization can support it. On that basis only you are going to deploy this complete products, and then you need to execute it and see whether your application is running correctly and not. And that is the third layer which was there into the project, that is past your test part, that is part of your test part, right? You have seen in the beginning: development, build, test, quality assurance, and maintenance. So if it is coming about the test, it means we need to test our product. To test the product, definitely we need either exe files or either we need to use it the sh files. That kind of part you need to do it. Again, this testing also categorized in multiple ways. That is your one is BVT testing. BVT testing, that is basically called it as build verification testing. Okay, then you will be having the sanity testing. Sanity testing. Then you will be having smoke testing. Okay, then you will be having the regression testing. So these kind of different ways or approach you need to talk it. I don't want to go in detail about these testing methodologies as of now, because we are not learning testing as of now, but this is the different testing methodologies available into the market. Once this testing is done, this is actually called it as functional testing into the curriculum or into the course, where you need to test the product and you need to see whether things are fine or not. Now once this part is done, then there are few more new tools is available into the market which is come under the quality assurance. Under the quality assurance it is coming it, for an example, you want to test a product, then you will be having some automation tools are available, like Selenium is available right now. Then you will be having some another framework is available right now, Cucumber, another one, some protector related framework is available. So this is completely a different thing which is completely done by our testing teams. So they are actually doing the testing of this product using these automation tools available into the market. And once this is also done, then you have the next concepts coming into the market, that is the maintenance part, where you need to do the monitoring. And this monitoring actually done by again few more tools, say CloudWatch can be helping you for the monitoring, or Grafana will be there, or some other tools also available into the market. But as part of our curriculum, we will be talk about CloudWatch and Grafana. So the complete cycle of this project is just designed in this way, that development, it can go with the coding language, then build part, it will become into the your Maven, Jenkins, Git. Okay, then test, then quality assurance, then maintenance, right? So definitely you will be having a question where exactly DevOps will reside. DevOps can reside at multiple places, at the build level also, at the test level also, at the monitoring level also, at the build different aspect. This all components are going to be available, and on that basis only this continuation is going to be happen. Okay, so this is just a small short video related to the process building of the project, which we are going to see in a detailed way. Okay, and that basis you are going to learn it. And the further sessions will be again continuing on the DevOps part, so please Stay tuned with the upcoming updates on the next topic. Okay, please do like and share and comment on the channel and keep watching the DevOps related stuff on this channel. Thank you for this session.